Tonight on Newswatch, Thielen Health Center warns travelers about the Zika virus.
And Ames has entered in a nationwide Main Street competition.
And I'm Matt Barker with your sports tonight. I'll have more on the Big 12 tournament.
And I'll have your full Iowa forecast. Newswatch starts now.
Newswatch 18 starts now.
Welcome to this Thursday, March 10th edition of Newswatch. I'm Andreas Haffar.
And I'm Jordyn Prince. Thanks for joining us. With spring break around the corner, providers at the Thielen Student Health Center on campus are encouraging travelers to be aware of the Zika virus and to take precautions if traveling to an area that is infected with this virus. It can be transmitted through infected Aedes mosquitoes, from mother to child, sexual activity, and blood transfusions. There are many precautions you can take to protect yourself from the possibility of becoming infected if you are planning on traveling to an infected area. The Student Health Center is encouraging any travelers who are going to be traveling to an infected area to make sure they know the ways they can protect themselves.
Iowa State engineers have developed a new flexible, stretchable, and tunable metaskin that can trap radar waves and cloak objects from detection. The metaskin are rows of split-ring resonators embedded inside layers of silicone sheets that are filled with a liquid metal alloy called galliston. The metaskin creates a resonator that can trap and suppress radar waves at a certain frequency as well. The researchers hope that one day the metaskin could coat the surface of the next generation of stealth aircraft.
Ames is now one of the 73 cities nominated and entered into the America's Main Streets competition. In order to be considered for this competition, a town must have an official downtown Main Street area. Des Moines' historic Valley Junction is the only other town from Iowa in this national competition. If Ames were to win this competition, a prize of $25,000 would be given to the town to be put to use in downtown Ames. The Main Street Cultural District of Ames is looking forward to the voting process that will happen towards the end of April. The executive director of the Main Street Cultural District, Amy Hicks, stated that when you look at main streets across the country, dying and struggling, and you look at what we have something that's really inviolable. We have something other main streets communities would like to have. So it's exciting that our nomination was chosen and people across the country are getting to see what a beautiful Main Street Ames has to offer and what a great place it is to come visit.
An Iowa high school student scored the highest possible ACT score. Mitch Erbel of Marshalltown took the ACT college placement test last fall and earned a score of 36. School officials say that nationally, students who earn the top score represent less than 0.1% of the students who take the test. Erbel is still deciding on his college plans, but has an interest in studying computer science.
President Leith announced the new director of Equal Opportunity this morning. Margot Foreman will start working as the new director on April 25th. She was the Associate Director of Equal Opportunity at the offices of Indiana University and Purdue University, Indianapolis. According to the Iowa State News Service, Foreman will manage equal opportunity, affirmative action, discrimination, and serve as the university's Title IX coordinator.
The City of Ames annual Eco Fair gives residents the chance to learn more about water conservation, reducing energy use, low-impact landscaping, and more. The Eco Fair will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, April 2nd in the Community Center Gymnasium. There will be booths, displays, and activities scheduled throughout the event focused on how residents can reduce, reuse, and recycle.
When we come back, we'll have the latest from around the nation. Stay tuned, you're watching Newswatch. A shooting took place at the Des Moines Buffalo Wild Wings yesterday around noon. According to the police, two groups of juvenile teens were in the parking lot disputing over a watch. During the incident, one teen was shot in the area of his foot and leg. The victim called the police at a get-and-go gas station that he escaped to after he got shot. The victim was taken to the hospital with no life-threatening injuries. Police say the suspect poses no threat to the public, but the search for him is still going on.
The Iowa Utilities Board announced a decision to approve the proposed Bakken oil pipeline today. The pipeline was approved unanimously 3-0. Opponents spoke out as the decision was announced, saying their fight was not yet over. Protesters told the board they made a huge mistake after the decision was announced. The Bakken oil pipeline will cut through 18 Iowa counties, carrying oil from North Dakota to Illinois. Landowners and environmental groups say an appeal and several lawsuits are already in the works.
The board of directors for the Wounded Warriors Project fired their 2 executives Thursday. Former Chief Executive Officer Stephen Nardizzi and former Chief Operating Officer Al Giordano were fired after a meeting this afternoon. As the Wounded Warriors Project raised more than $1 billion in donations since 2003, a large amount of the money was going to non-charity expenses. Many employees told reporters that spending by the charity was out of control. The charity released an apologetic statement and are currently looking for a replacement CEO and COO.
The Iowa State Student Government Senate is re-examining a bill to improve campus lighting, one that had previously been tabled. It would add 2 new light poles and replace some light bulbs between Carver and Parks Library for a cost of $3,500. Senators question whether it was worth it to spend the money on this type of project, while others say it's an important student safety issue. After much discussion, the bill was tabled indefinitely by a vote of 17 to 16.
Ben Carson is set to endorse Donald Trump at a press conference tomorrow morning. The endorsement will hand Trump an important boost heading into next week's Super Tuesday 3. Carson ended his own presidential bid last week after failing to win a single primary. He will become the second former Republican candidate to officially back Trump, after Chris Christie endorsed him last month.
California lawmakers voted Thursday to make the state the second to raise the smoking age from 18 to 21. The change is part of a sweeping package of measures they are considering to crack down on tobacco. The bills would also restrict electronic cigarettes just like tobacco products. The 6 bills, which the Assembly has already backed, represent California's most substantial anti-tobacco effort in nearly 2 decades. Governor Jerry Brown still has to sign off on the legislation.
Ashton Kutcher had a big announcement for a Des Moines elementary school today. Kutcher announced he will be funding all the classroom projects in the state of Iowa. The Iowa Native Flash funded more than 100 DonorsChoose.org classroom projects in Iowa. Kutcher helped support 131 projects at 100 schools in Iowa. Jackson Elementary School in Des Moines had several projects funded totaling nearly $3,500. The movement is part of the Best School Day initiative. More than 60 celebrities, business leaders, and athletes have participated in across the country.
And now we are joined at the desk by Mr. Matthew Barker. Matt, let's hear about some of the cyclone sports. What do you got for us?
Well, I have a little bit of NBA, a little bit of college basketball, and that's all I have tonight. Stay tuned. You're watching Newswatch. Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm Matt Barker with your Cyclone Sports Report. Oklahoma may have the Big 12's best player in Buddy Hield, but no team has been more dominant in the conference tournament of late than the Sooners' first opponent, the Iowa State Cyclones. 21st ranked Iowa State starts its quest for a 3rd consecutive championship in tonight's quarterfinal matchup with the number 6 Sooners. Although Kansas remains the Big 12's giant in regular season play, Iowa State has reigned as the kings of Kansas City the past 2 years. After ousting the Jayhawks in the semifinals en route to winning the 2014 event as a number 4 seed, the Cyclones defended the crown last year as a number 2 seed by beating ranked Oklahoma and Kansas teams in the final 2 rounds. Iowa State faces a potential tougher road to the championship this time as a 6th seed, with the chance it would need to beat 3 teams ranked among the top 10 nationally. No team seeded lower than 4th has won the tournament in its 19-year existence. The Cyclones tip off against the Sooners right now on ESPNU. In other conference tournament news, the Iowa Hawkeyes lost earlier today to the 12th-seeded Illinois Illini by a score of 68-66. This is the 3rd time Iowa has lost in the 2nd round of the Big Ten tournament. This also marks the 2nd time being ousted by a double-digit seed. The Iowa Hawkeyes will look for redemption when their name is called for the NCAA tournament later this month. Coming off their 2nd straight win, the Los Angeles Lakers are red hot, so to speak. The Lakers are in serious jeopardy of losing their top 3 protected first-round pick to the Philadelphia 76ers this year, as they look to win their 3rd straight win tonight versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. That pick will certainly help Nerlens Noel and the Sixers on their journey to many NBA championships in the near future, or the Los Angeles Lakers. This will be the last time Kobe and LeBron face off. Tip is set for 9:30 on TNT. And that's all I have for your Cyclone Sport Report. It's been a little bit nicer weather, Jan, hasn't it?
It has been nicer, and that warm weather is just going to continue, even hitting near 70 next here in Ames. I'll have your full Iowa forecast after the break. Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to Newswatch, and happy Thursday. Right now, outside in Ames, we are at 43 degrees, and those winds are out of the north, but mostly variable across the state right now, and we'll get to that here in just a second. But around the rest of the state, on the cool down up to the north, 37 right now in Mason City, but 50s down to the south. Council Bluffs still holding on near 60. But here's a look at that wind map, and like I said, those winds are light and variable across the state, mostly out of the north direction, but some out of the east, some out of the west. So as we go on through the night, though, those winds are going to be calming down, so we won't see much impact from those winds as we go on through the night. But we are sitting under clear skies right now, and those clear skies are going to continue for quite some time as we've got high pressure sitting up to our north that's just going to keep us in these clear, sunny conditions as we go on through the next few days. And this cold front is going to try to push its way in, but it's not going to make it. And we will have a few rain showers coming in by Saturday morning that could give us some rain chances Saturday and into Sunday even. Tonight, though, those lows are going to be dipping down into the 40s and 30s up to our north. And then tomorrow we'll heat right back up into the 50s. Last day of 50s before we get into the 60s again. Finally. So tonight, 35 here in Ames for our low, and those clouds are going to be not with us for the most part. It should be mostly clear, and those winds are going to be calming down. But right now, like I said, out of the north direction for the most part. Tomorrow we'll heat up to 64 with those sunny skies sticking around. It will be a little windy though. Gusts up to 20 miles an hour, but because those winds are out of the south, it'll be bringing in that warm air, helping us heat up into the 60s. Looking at our extended forecast, Friday looks to be clear. Those rain chances Saturday and Sunday, though. And then looking at Tuesday, we might even have a chance for some severe weather, so be sure to keep an eye on that. There'll be more news after the break.
Austin Russell, also known as Chumlee, a star on the reality show known as Pawn Stars, was recently arrested and charged for 19 counts of drug possession and 1 weapon charge. Chumlee was arrested after police entered his home with a search warrant in a sexual assault investigation on March 9th. During this investigation, they found drugs such as marijuana and methamphetamine, and also found at least 1 firearm. Chumlee wasn't charged for sexual assault, but that investigation is still ongoing. Chumlee was held overnight on a $62,000 bail. His co-owner to the pawn shop and his co-star of the Pawn Stars show, Rick Harrison, has told Fox News that we don't have any details yet, but we are here to help Chumlee any way we can.
Have no fear, the Captain America Civil War trailer is here. Marvel released the trailer for the highly anticipated film this morning, featuring numerous fight scenes between Team Cap and Team Iron Man. The most talked about feature of the trailer, however, is the first glimpse of Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tom Holland's version of Spidey is wearing a suit similar to those in the original comics as a web slings Captain America's shield right out of his hand. Your friendly neighborhood hero will appear on the big screen on May 6th. And that's all we have for Newswatch tonight.
Tune in next